Wolf over here at Elify. We do this every Friday, and we're so excited to have you on and watching this. Again, this is a time where we can all get together, collaborate together, share information, best practices, tips, tricks, celebrate. We usually start out with a topic and go on that and then just expand. So excited to have you on. A few ground rules for our Zooms, just so everybody knows. I know some of you are here all the time, but I want to call it out. We want to hear from you first and foremost. Let us know where you're joining from today. If you've invited somebody to join, where they're joining from, introduce them, share your shuffle card in here so we can all connect. I'm going to go ahead and paste mine in the chat as well. Additionally, we're going to be talking about a topic, but we want to have an open conversation with everybody. So if you have a question, a comment, a tip, a trick, a celebration, then go on ahead and share that with us, either by hitting the reactions in Zoom and raising your hand, and we'll call on you. You can unmute, come forward, and ask your question or speak your mind. Or if you don't feel like coming live on the Zoom in front of everybody, throw your question or comment in the chat as well, and we'll make sure to hit those as we go along. But we usually typically start out these Friday with the Founders with a topic, an idea we've had in mind. And I want to carry on with a theme that we've been talking about, Guy, for the last about week or so. And that really is the law of large numbers. And this is rolling out of our discussions on knowing your numbers and the compounding effect and all of these things. And Guy, we've always been the type of the law of large numbers is an amazing thing. And one of the things that came about, this was mentioned by Kent on one of the last Friday of the Founders, maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where he was talking about, these pennies, these nickels, these dimes, these quarters. And in our world, it's like, 80 cents to $1, and those things adding up over time, and how powerful that is. When we talked about the compounding effect, we talked about this doubling. Would you rather have $1 million or a penny doubled every day for 30 days? Guy, I know you mentioned about individuals who are always going after that high dollar value sale to make the big money up front, but then going out and having to find the next one and the next one and the next one. And I think this is one of those topics that's so powerful because a lot of people overlook the law of large numbers. And I was lucky enough to come across this early in my career. If you're not aware, I've been doing affiliate marketing and online stuff well before COVID made working virtual cool. And one of the things that I learned is as we drove people to purchase things online, we realized that those people were worth a penny, a nickel, a dime. But when we worked with the law of large numbers, we had millions of eyeballs coming in, and it would add up, and there would be 6 and 7 figures being generated through those eyeballs and through those numbers. And it was all distributed law of large numbers. And I think this is something that is carried over into Elify here, and really what we're talking about and looking at in servicing the world with our technology, and also exploring this opportunity of being an affiliate with Elify. So Guy, I just want to get your thoughts and takes before I go off on my typical rant here, and also open this up for anybody else who's joined us for Friday with the Founders. Again, thanks everybody for your time today.
We're ER and I almost, it seems like we share brains, but I guess working with each other for the past 15 years, we know how the other thinks. So from the idea, the concept, and the topic, we're on the same page because wanted to talk numbers as well. We're math guys. I'm one to 100% believe numbers don't lie, and the numbers, from a positive aspect, adding or subtracting, they don't lie. I'm not, there's not too much to say other than the fact of, in an affiliate program, most natural affiliate programs, a direct referral, you get your 1%. So what are you actually doing there? Or bringing someone on, you're adding. That's all you get. You get to add someone, they add someone. That would be more like us. You get into network marketing companies, you get addition plus division plus calculus plus trigonometry and everything else from a lot of these companies in their payout structures. But then what we like to think about is the addition and the multiplication that happens within our affiliate program, being able to actively go out and find someone who is encouraged to utilize the Shuffle solution to network and grow their business, getting their information out to someone and being able to support those people. That's something we always want to do. So making sure that that's one of our biggest focuses. Sorry, I had a lapse there in my thinking, but still, we're excited what numbers can do in our affiliate program, knowing that affiliates every day, there's opportunities that roll out. There's free opportunities, there's paid opportunities. We have the ability to bring everybody in on whatever they would like to from the platform, but understanding that it can proliferate out when they would like to also get information out.
Yep. So look, if you have a question, a comment, a thought, please raise your hand or put it in the chat. We want to hear from you. Guy, I was just thinking about this concept when we think the law of large numbers is total addressable market. And independent of what business industry you might be in, a lot of the time we think about our potential customer base, the total addressable market that might purchase from us. And again, depending on what venture you are in or what you're supporting, also it has a total addressable market. And one of the things that excites me the most about Elify here in Shuffle is how vast that total addressable market is, and how on all the conversations that we've had this week with both the affiliates and our potential customers and things like that, that they can see that if I just start leveraging this technology in my primary focus, I'm going to start exposing other people to what this technology is doing for me and the potential of what it can do for them. And when I think about all those people that we can be out helping and supporting with the technology, I take a step back and I think about, one, again, going back to the digital business card, how many people use business cards? Guy, you mentioned it on an earlier conversation. The moment you get into business or start a new venture or do anything like that, the first thing you think about is I've got to create a business card or something that represents who I am and what I do. But expanding on our technology offering, we're also thinking about, how many people out there could potentially be leveraging QR codes to support their business, or NFC technology to share information in their business, or landing pages, or relationship management tools. And when I sit back and think about that, it's pretty crazy. I think the statistics I was last looking at was something like, 30 million registered small businesses just in the United States. When I think about industries that also use this technology, things like direct sellers, and we have a lot of direct sellers and network marketers in our customer base. There are something like 40 million people who are actively involved in direct sales and network marketing in the United States. When we extrapolate this out on a global level, you're talking about hundreds of millions of individuals. And again, going back to that law of large numbers, there's no expectation that you're going to convert or access 100% market share. In most cases, in any industry, you typically see two big players, right? The Coke or the Pepsi as the example, and then a lot of others in there gobbling up market share. But Guy, you and I used to laugh when we'd say, if you have a total addressable market of 100 million people and you can get 1% conversion. And I used to joke and say that wouldn't make you a Coke or a Pepsi, it'd make you the Shasta of the industry. A million people is still 10 million, 20 million, $30 million a month in general revenue, right? It's hundreds of $1 million in annual revenue, which is so exciting, especially when I look at what we do on the affiliate side, and we're paying out over half of that to the affiliate base. And I think that's the opportunity that I don't want everyone as affiliates here to overlook, because it's a massive opportunity, but it also works with what do you need to do to get there, and how do you leverage and how do you promote and how do you do all of those things? Because the reality is we don't expect a single one of our affiliates to go out and put 10,000 customers on. If you are a person who can put 10,000 customers on, wonderful. Congratulations. We want to support you. And we've talked to individuals who lead to those types of opportunities, which is great. But our passion has always been about taking entrepreneurship and opportunity to the masses. And we know that you can create a model or a system by playing the law of large numbers and doing things like residual compensation and compounding through leverage to create a massive impact, even with just knowing 4, 5, 10 people that could benefit from this technology. And I think that's the thing that tends to continue to get overlooked by a lot of people. And we sort of shake our head and say, I don't understand why it gets overlooked, because every time we talk about it or show the model, people are like, yes, I understand it, I agree with it. But then they are always going after that big ticket item or that big commission or that big sale. And then they get it once and they have to do it over again or over again or over again. And it just doesn't seem to be working out for them. And then they come back again. And then, so I'm going to throw it back over to you, Guy, or anybody out there who has anything they want to ask, and we'll go from there.
And just got a quick statement, and then Ruben, you'll be up. From that aspect of the numbers, and if either it's a high ticket item, a cost effective ticket item, knowing that the market that we can go after here at Elify, specifically for our affiliates, your market is vast. It's wider than anybody who's selling high ticket items that maybe it's a $5,000-$7,000 item. I mentioned yesterday on your Zoom, ER, the fact that I sat in a Zoom a few weeks ago and was invited to go to this thing and sat on it. I didn't sit on it. I recorded it so I could watch it later and put it at 3x because I knew it was going to be long. It was a 3-hour Zoom presentation, and it was one of those, but wait, tell you more. We got the secret. Here's the secret. You guys still paying attention? Here's the secret. Sign up for our next course at $7,000. This is how we're going to teach you to sell high ticket items.
Sure.
They probably converted a lot because I saw they had their conference feed within Zoom, and there were hundreds of people on it throughout, maybe even thousands. But knowing the likelihood that somebody is going to really run hard with the opportunity of selling something at a high ticket item. Yeah. The numbers are exciting when you can look at selling something at a high point and make, if it's 5,000, you make 1,000, you make 20%. In order to make your next 1,000, you got to sell one of those. What's the likelihood that somebody looking for solutions and opportunities are going to go towards that item? I don't know. I'm not somebody that's trying to price somebody out. That's not where we focus. But bringing somebody into a solution that's $10, $20, $30, that's easier to swallow the cost, but to know that the value behind it is something as valuable as those $7,000 secrets.
Sure. And
we know the secrets do work and implement. I think we got Janice posted yesterday. It's what an implementation quote. I'll pull it up before we're done so I can get it out there. But implementation is what's going to determine if someone's successful or not.
Yep. And I think ultimately we talked about it yesterday on my mastermind Zoom. The secret is pretty simple, right? You have to understand what the process is. You have to put in the work to run that process, and you have to do it over time. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they just don't follow that structure, which blows my mind because it's not a complex structure to follow. And yet you have all these people selling the secret out there, and they're going to share you the same thing. Maybe they're selling the process. Here's the process. I will show you the process. This is the process you do. And Guy, one of the funny things I've seen and noticed a lot is most of those gurus out there who are selling a process for a certain vertical or industry or space or product, most of their income comes from selling the education. Have you thought about that? And guys, I hate to beat this dead horse, but the education is out there. I mean, we're providing it for free. Maybe we should start charging for this, Guy, but no, we're providing it for free, and most likely it's freely out there and available for you if you want to do the due diligence and do the work. at the end of the day, Guy, your quote speaks volumes. We are not here to save you, right? We're not here to save you if you're watching this. We're here to empower you, to encourage you, and to equip you to save yourself. And I think that's the big thing. We've all heard that, teach a man to fish versus give a man a fish parable. And I'm telling you, we want to teach fishers and people how to fish and show you how to go out there and feed yourself versus feed you. And I think that's something that we're truly passionate about. It's not just about the technology that we're creating. I think that is so valuable, and there's such a total addressable market for it. And we continue to get market share on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, which is very empowering and encouraging for us. But where are you staking your claim in that is the big question. You know what I mean? Where are you staking your claim in that? And that's really what I want to focus on and what I want to help people with, because I believe that, and Guy, this is going back to the law of large numbers here. I want to ask everybody, do you know somebody who's not physically know somebody, but think of somebody who's sitting on that Forbes list of the world's richest people? Okay. I mean, just think about it. What's the first name that pops into your head? Is it somebody like Warren Buffett? Is it somebody like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos? Yep, Bezos, I saw, Shelly. Think about it. How did they get there? They started a business with a massive total addressable market. When you break it down to its simplest form, that's what they did. They started a business with a massive total addressable market. Yes, Amazon makes a little bit of every purchase that goes on, but a lot of their income comes from Prime membership. That's a $99 a year, a $10 a month subscription for access to that Amazon portal. And it's made Jeff Bezos one of the richest men in the world. And this is something that we realized a long time ago, Guy. And one of the things that we know, we are business owners. You guys are now business owners if you're an affiliate with us. But how do you build a successful business? We're not all going to be a Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk or, a Warren Buffett, although some of us may be striving for that. But we can all be a business owner. And really, when we think about business ownership, it's about owning a system or a process. And then you have attributes that make that good or make that bad or make that hard or make that simple. And that's what it's really about. So this is one of those things that, along with developing Elify, the Elify technology, Shuffle, Tap, and some of the things that we're working on in the background that we think are going to be disruptive within the industries that they're serving, the other passion that Guy and I have is about supporting others in their path of entrepreneurship. That's why the tools we've created support entrepreneurs, business owners, sales professionals, network marketers, right? That's the first step. We want to empower and support those people to elevate their business and simplify their success. But in addition to that, we want to give a pathway for entrepreneurship, And when I think about business, and guys, I don't talk a lot about my background, about my education, about all of those things, and maybe I should. Maybe it helps increase some credibility here, but I have a master's in business, with a focus on entrepreneurship. I spent well over 6 figures in education to learn about implementing this stuff. And I'm just trying to impress and share some of that stuff upon you, because as a business owner myself, you've got a few paths to start a business, and I've done multiple of them. The first path is you can start a business from scratch. And maybe some of you on this call have started a business from scratch, right? Created a product, learned a skill to offer a service, spun up and hung out your own shingle, created all the processes and systems, started the marketing and advertising, found customers, and scaled it up. That's starting a business from scratch. And it is a long pull. I've done it. I've started multiple businesses from scratch, and it's both exciting, fun, and a lot of hard work. The next option, which is one step down, in my opinion, not from anything negative, but one step down from starting a business, is buying a franchise. Maybe some of you on this call have owned a franchise. Maybe you bought a franchise, and all you're doing is buying an existing system when you think about it, right? Building a business is about creating that system. Buying a franchise is about buying that system and implementing it. They give you all the processes, they give you all the tools, they give you all of that. If you think about, there's lots of stuff online on franchising. And again, as an entrepreneur, I love to keep my eyes on what's going on in these industries. And a lot of it is you have to have the money to buy the franchise. Maybe they'll finance you, but you have to have the money to buy it. You have to go in and be willing to learn all the processes and systems. And then at the end of the day, if you want to be a good franchise operator, you have to implement and follow all of those. And here's the catch. Even if you found a better way within your own franchise, if you diverge from the system or the model that the franchise has sold you, you can get in trouble or punished for that. So you better be willing to follow it to a T. One step down from franchising. And I think that now we're starting to get into entry points that are accessible to the masses, to a big total addressable market, to the law of large numbers. And Guy, you and I saw this early on, direct sales and network marketing. I know there are a lot of people on this call who have become business owners, an independent business owner, because they joined a network marketing business or a direct sales business. Again, very powerful. I think that's one of the best ways to enter into entrepreneurship and business ownership. However, again, you have to know the process or the system. You're not really buying the franchise, if you will. I think there's argument there. You're buying a system, but you still have to implement it. And that's something that we see a lot of the time, implementing that system and that model. Guy, you talked about some of the compensation plans and the complexity there of the calculus behind them tends to be challenging. And some people are very successful. I know we've worked with a lot of 7-figure leaders, 8-figure leaders, and really it's about, I hate to say it, it's about recruitment, it's about building a team, and it's about leverage. But if you understand that that's part of the model and you're willing to accept that as part of the business model itself, you can implement that and you can be successful. But if you don't understand that and you just focus on maybe getting customers or really highlighting the brand, the company, the products, you're missing out on that opportunity side of it, which really builds every leader I've ever met. They focused on the whole and not any one segment of that. And then that last area that I think about business and business ownership, and maybe there are more here, but I'm generalizing it into those 4 categories, is affiliate marketing. And why do I think affiliate marketing is one of these easiest, lowest level things is because you as a business owner are only operating as a conduit to connect buyers with sellers. That's the role as a business. And it simplifies the entire business model and process to just being that one thing. And when I talk about starting a business from scratch, that's the small business owner that has to wear every single hat in their business. How do we know this? Because Guy and I wear every single hat in the Elify business. You know what I mean? And yes, we scale and we put people in the right positions and those types of things. But as business owners, we know that. But as entrepreneurs and as affiliate marketers, your hat is to be the conduit of connecting the people who are looking for that service, the total addressable market, with the people who are offering that service. And that's why I think it's so exciting. And that's why I think Shuffle and Elify can support that. I know we're supporting people in every avenue of business, franchise, direct sales, and even affiliate marketing. And I think that's what excites me about this and this opportunity. It's not just about the opportunity, it's about how the product and services, the technology can support all of these total addressable market as customers, and then the opportunity side to participate in the growth of that segment. Because here's the reality. There's 100 million people out there plus who can benefit from something that Elify offers. And Guy and I are passionate and diligent. And for the next 15 years, we're going to continue to go down that path and gobble market share. And we want to invite you to join us in that mission. And if you do, if you lean into that and you start doing it diligently, and I know there are people on this call who've already started to build teams and find customers and do those types of things, the law of large numbers will pay off. And Guy and I know that. We've seen it ourselves. We're committed to that, but we know it can pay off for you too. And we want to maximize that for each and every person on this call. So if that's something that interests you and you're still struggling with that, let us know what you're struggling with so we can help you. Reach out to us, do those types of things. Guy, I'm going to get off my soapbox once again and pass it over to you or anybody in the audience who has a question or a comment.
Well, I know it's been a little while. You've been on hold here, Ruben. Go ahead.
Okay. Speaking of numbers and the process, this morning I wanted to share something with the team here. Part of my plan was to have one Zoom interaction and then one phone call within this morning that are meaningful to me. And asking this one particular Zoom client, potential client, by a series of questions, I found out basically she had a story, a real powerful story. Yep. And because of her story, she sells T-shirts, inspirational T-shirts. And then what caught my attention is that if she was coaching in front of 100 women at a convention, and her story blew them away, and they were buying her T-shirts. Well, her dream is to have a store or have her product in the store. So while listening to all of this, all of a sudden I shared what we have here in terms of the product, and all of a sudden she goes, "Wow, you mean all those people that I missed at that convention that could have been a possible candidate?" She sold out her products, but there's no future there when she has to restock or whatever. So she saw the potential and the element. And then she shared with me her husband. He is in one of those businesses, his own business, where you point and he gets rid of your junk. You've probably seen the commercial, point and junk. Well, he has a van. And can you imagine having that van wrapped with a QR code? And she just went, "Oh, I got to talk to him about it." Okay. So that went real well. The phone call was from a Shuffle user that's not using Shuffle anymore. Okay. Now the key here, he's a painter with a large company, and they're going to home shows. Okay. So how do you position that? You're talking to someone that's not utilizing what the dream is. Okay. So in our conversation, I said, "I understand where you're coming from. What do you do at that home show about? Oh, we got these flyers, these yellow flyers, and we pass it out to everybody. Everybody sees it." I said, "Does a flyer have a QR code on it?" No, it doesn't. And little by little, I see that he really wasn't really buying in on it. But the interesting thing is that one time when he was at a home show, I sent the promo to him on his phone. The fellow that works at the company picked up on it, and he was very interested in it. So what I'm saying is that whatever reason, if people don't buy into the concept in our dream right away, someone will, because he still needs us in that delivery system if he's going to a home show. So that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. Thank you.
I love that. I mean, I'm going to speak a little bit to this from the aspect of what I mentioned yesterday on what Shuffle is doing. And we talked the word disruption yesterday to everyone that was on. Disruption, it's either a positive, either have a positive or negative connotation of what disruption is. But anymore, leading into post 2020 apocalypse, is the fact that disruption is positive. It's we're seeing it happening in banking with blockchain and cryptocurrency. You're seeing it happen from the aspect of the Ming Dynasty is disrupted from paper business cards to now you can do it digitally. Landing pages take away from PDFs, those different types of things. You have a disruptive way here to exchange information about your company, your information, yourself. That's brass tacks. That's what Shuffle does. It allows anyone and everyone. So to the roofer, to the painter, it allows them to disrupt the way that they've been getting information out to others, to have the right information to the right person at the right time, at the event, where they're at, where they can walk away with it and it doesn't get lost in a stack of papers or a notebook or everyone else's business cards. It's held on their phone where everyone's at. Average people are on their phone for over 4 hours a day. It's where people are doing business, and you've got a business that can travel anywhere with you.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful. And going along that line of what, Ruben, you were talking about, one of the things I want to comment on is your ability to look at their needs and what they're trying to accomplish and position the solutions to help and support that. Not necessarily turn towards people and say, "You need this," but say, "What are you trying to do? And I think that this can help you," or "Have you thought about this?" And when they're like, wow, I never thought about it, because Guy and I talk to people day in and day out. And every now and then we'll be on a call during the time when they have that aha moment where it all clicks for them. And they say, I get it. I can see it now. Or we'll be on Kathy's training and we'll be talking about different, what we would call a use case, right? Different ways to leverage the technology. Like, I remember the first time that I heard James talking about using this in his DJ business and being like, oh my gosh, yes, I could imagine people scanning my QR code to request a song or to learn more about me and book me for an event or to do those types of things. What an application. Or that person, Ruben, who you're talking about. I mean, could you imagine that they are building these inspirational shirts, right? I want to have a life by design. And then on the back of that shirt is a QR code that anybody who's walking around could scan. Or when she's sharing this amazing story that she has, that during her presentation, she's got this amazing QR code floating behind her that you can scan from the audience. And even though we just sold out of all of our inventory, if you want to pre-order for the next batch, you can go on ahead and scan there. Or if you want to support this cause, you can go on ahead and do these things. To Guy's point, this is the type of stuff that is disrupting the markets around us. And that's what's really exciting right now, because I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine, first of all, when we think about technology, could you imagine doing anything today without having a single email address? Like, ask yourself that question. Because it didn't always exist. It's been around for like 40 years now. And now you can almost not do anything unless you put in an email address. Or think about this. Could you operate 100% back in the analog age? You know, if you didn't leverage the internet at all, we couldn't even be on this call right now. And I think there are these things when we think about technology, and Guy and I as technologists and in a way futurists, where we're thinking about what is the future going to be like. We're really trying to set ourselves up for success, not just today, but tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. And we will continue at Elify to keep our hands or our fingers on the pulse of those types of trends and looking for these elements that can help make the little guy be as competitive as the big guy, because that's really what it's all about, right? These big businesses tend to identify technology and invest millions of dollars into developing technology. And then over time, it sort of matriculates down to the small business user. And that's something we've become passionate about. How do we scale down and simplify technology for anybody to use? And how do we make it super cost effective? Because I don't want to be the person that says, hey, Anna, you have to invest $7,000 today in your business in order to be successful. In my mind, price should not be an objection. We want to help you leverage technology in your business. When Ruben is talking about, have you thought about doing this? Or how do you do this? Or, whoa, I think you could do this with this. And they're going, oh my gosh, that point and get rid of the junk type of thing. If I've got a van that does that and I'm not using it as an advertising tool, and you can be the bridge to help me do that. Wow. Yes, I want to lean forward into that. And that as an affiliate is sort of what you're thinking about, what you've got your ears open listening for, because that's the indication that that person is ready to say, show me how. You are already doing it. Everybody on this call is on Shuffle. Everybody on this call is on Elify. You know what I mean? And if you already have that skill set, guess what? That puts you above the person who does not have that skill set. Ask yourself, what did it take you to develop that skill set? Did you come on a few calls with us? Did you get on with Kathy on Tuesday? Did you just download the application and log in online and play around? Because you have a story of, one, how you discovered Shuffle. Did somebody share a card with you? Did they invite you to a call? Did you see it posted in a social group? You learned about this somehow. Think about that. Think about if somebody else learned from you in the exact same way. How would you make that happen, right? You have a story of how you leverage the technology. And Ruben, to your point, if you're not leveraging the technology, if you're that person who signed up or no longer uses it or whatnot, you don't have that as your story, and you're missing out on all the power that the technology can bring and make available to you. So I know all of us have a way we're using the technology. You want to see how am I using the technology? Scan that right now. You know what I mean? We're using the technology. That QR links directly to my business card. Guy's got one. Anna's got one. I mean, I've seen everybody leveraging these. So Guy and I decided we'll spin one up too. What a great way to connect with people since a lot of us are still meeting online. Again, there's so many ways to leverage this technology. You're creating a story that matches you. And here's the thing, you have a tribe just like we have a tribe, right? You're all part of our Elify tribe, but you have other tribes that you belong to that you can help and support. And guess what? They can follow your lead. You are a leader. You may not think of yourself as one, but you've created your own story. You've learned about it some way. You use it in some way. You have some results. Guys, you have some results. Did somebody scan a card of yours? Did somebody open one of your cards and you got an alert? Did you get a follow-up reminder that helped you follow up and close some new business? When I hear about, Guy, customers of ours who've generated income just by leveraging Shuffle, new income, new revenue, you know, in some cases, millions of dollars of new income. That's not revenue that came to us. That's revenue that came direct to that small business. That's a powerful story that, you know, yes, you and I can talk about and reiterate those stories, but if that individual takes it upon themselves to say, look, this made a difference and it changed, and I think it can do the same thing for you, who's going to say no to leaning into that conversation? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to learn about that. Sounds like it's too expensive. You know what I mean? No, you just start having the conversation and trying to help people, and the law of large numbers starts to pay off. So, Scott, I saw your hand go up here. Go on ahead, my friend. Thanks for joining on Friday with the Founders. Good to have you on.
Thank you. One of the things that you had mentioned yesterday was just the importance of touch points along the way, and how many touch points it takes for somebody to kind of move down the path. And I was also then listening to a YouTube interview with you this morning. I forget who it was with, but it was about 9 months ago. And it got me thinking about using the Shuffle for creating a survey, maybe to address a cold market, to kind of move down that path with maybe even the incentive of a free card on the other side. If you fill out this survey, I'll give you a free card. And then that would then open up the opportunity for then further information. Hey, thanks for filling out the survey. Let me help you create that card. And I was just wondering, just to get a little feedback on what you think would be the best way to put something like that together using Elify Shuffle.
Yeah. First of all, I love it. I love the creativity. And this is one of the things that I love about this community, is just thinking about the different ways to apply and leverage the technology. The second thing, you're absolutely right with the touch points. Okay, I want to reiterate that, because there's so much gold that happens on these conversations. The touch points, the statistics, we're not going to individually be able to change the statistics. They are what they are. So to Scott's comment, the average sale happens between the 5th and the 12th interaction. I'll tell you what, the statistics are creeping up closer to the 12th interaction. Okay. So Scott, I'm going to get to your final question in that whole thing, but I want to unpack this because it's so paramount that people understand this. Because here's what's happening in the market right now. A majority, the 80-20 rule that we always talk about, 80% of the market, and I would argue about 95% of the market, they're mining for gold when they do sales and marketing. But what they're doing is looking for gold nuggets. And if we look at all the gold that's been mined, a majority of it, 90% of it is gold dust. But they fail to sit there and shake out the mat and wash out the sluice box to gather all of that gold dust, because they're too busy looking for big gold nuggets. And what you're talking about, when you go through and you take those extra steps to wash out the mat and get all of that gold dust and actually capitalize on all of those relationships, those are those multiple interaction points, the 5 to 12 that we're all really working towards. And so what I love about you were talking about is, think about this. An interaction isn't, I've got to have a sales call with that person 12 times. It's, I sent them a survey. That's an interaction. You know, I asked them if they took the survey, I followed up with them and took this next action. That's another interaction. You know, I got an alert that their birthday was coming up and I sent them a card, or I gave them a call, or I followed up with them. And it wasn't about business, but it was checking in on them. That's an interaction. So all of these interactions sum up to create that type of credibility for you and that know, like, and trust process so that they see you as somebody who has their best interest in mind, because you do, you know what I mean? And you can help them. So I wanted to throw that out there for everybody else listening. Now let's unpack the survey process. How would you do it? I would create a card first and foremost. Okay. You've got a few options. You could create a campaign card and put that form directly into that card. Okay. Not as a pop-up, not as a mandatory pop-up, but as an element within the card itself. You would need to do this if you wanted to change the position of the form using the desktop builder. Scott, you would use the desktop builder and you could drag that form field wherever you wanted it on the template. Because again, we want to send the right information to the right person at the right time. So we're thinking ahead of time of what we want the intention of this card to be. In this case, it's, I want somebody to fill out this form. Okay. Then you have to think about it. Okay. How am I delivering it to people? Am I emailing it as a follow-up? Am I posting it somewhere? Am I texting it out to people? Sometimes that will change how you're laying out that page, but you have to have a little bit of forethought behind that. But once you've created that, you have a form, and the form would say, like, again, something simple. Guy and I saw a form the other day. It was, what's your phone? What's your email address? What's your zip code? It was those 3 fields. You know what I mean? First name, question, phone number, email, optional. Again, there's a lot of different ways to lay it out, and there's not going to be a catch-all that works for every situation. So you build it, and guys, the old saying, done, action is better than inactivity. Done is better than perfect. You build your form, you send it out there, you get some statistical significance back, as we would say in the world of math. You put it out to 100 people and you say, how many people filled out this form? And if you get a 30% response rate, you're going down the right track. If you get a 2% response rate, you got some work to do. You know what I mean? And you start to optimize that form. But I would lay out the form. I would do what Jeff Badgie has said on earlier calls, a little quid pro quo, this for that. If you fill out this form, I will do that. So back to your question, Scott, if I give you a free business card for filling out this form, would you fill it out? You know what I mean? And I think if you're leaning into that and the free thing is the free business card, then I would make the things on the form relevant to the benefit of having a business card, right? Do you already have a digital business card? Are you leveraging QR codes in your business? Are you leveraging trackable hyperlinks in your business? Are you leveraging near field communication in your business? And some of these things, you might have to unpack the description based on the audience that you're sharing it with. You know, I would like to know this about you as a XYZ business owner, a healthcare professional, whatever it is that the target audience is, give me this information back. You know, are you aware of the positive impacts of this thing? Just for filling out this form, I would love to give you one of these absolutely free, you know, and then I would be happy to help you build your first card or show you how to use it or show you the benefits of the other attributes that can come with that technology. And then you put it out there and you see what happens. You know, in business, we call that the shotgun approach in marketing, right? We don't just do one thing. We try everything and then we see what sticks. And the things that stick, we scale up. And the things that don't, we turn off or we iterate on and optimize and try them again. That's how the whole thing works. And it's not really more complex than that. All the guys who are doing it at large scale, it's the same system and same process. They're just adding a few extra zeros on the whole thing. So I hope that helps. I know it's not super granular, Scott, on, oh yeah, put this in field 1, put this in field 2, but stagger it out. Then when somebody fills out the form, take the next step, right? Put it or make it part of a process, but commit to the process. You know what I mean? I think, again, I can't say enough, and this isn't about you, Scott. This is about the general observation. So many people are looking for a one and done, the easy button. And the reality is it does not exist, right? You can't just push a button and you get all the sales you ever wanted. You can't just push a button and you just automatically are wealthy beyond belief. The reality is everybody who's ever gone down the path before, that success has led clues, and it's you create a process, you implement that process, you follow that process, and you do it over time. You measure it, you course correct, and you fix the things that aren't working right. That's called optimization. And then eventually you dial in this mechanism that is really, you know, law of diminishing returns. There's only so much tinkering you can do on something until it is good enough. And then you scale it. You just start putting in more numbers and more numbers and more numbers. And all of a sudden it's scaling up. And part of that scale might not be you putting in the numbers. Part of that scale might be you showing somebody else how to put the numbers into the model that you created, right? Hey, everybody, I hope that, a Friday from now or 2 Fridays from now, Scott comes on and he says, hey, everybody, I want to come on and I want to show you that form I created based on the conversation we had last Friday with the founders. And here's the form, everybody. The link is in the chat. And I want to talk about the process that surrounds that form. I send everybody out an email. The subject line is this, the body is this, the link to my card is this, and there's an offer in there. And then everybody clicks on that and they fill out my form. And when they do, I know who's leaning in. It's almost like scrubbing my email list. And I come in and I go into step 2 and I say, thank you so much. Here's your free gift. I'd love to schedule a time with you to show you how to leverage it to the best. And then only a certain segment will come back to me with that. They might say, thanks for the free gift and never set their appointment. Or they might say, thanks for the free gift. Can I get on a call with you on Tuesday? And again, I'm just paraphrasing here off the cuff about this process that we could create. But Scott, that's really what it's about. We all have these amazing ideas. Everybody on this call has been having these thoughts as I've been sort of going on this dialogue. Implement your ideas. Test your ideas. Throw it out there and see what sticks, because we all have great ideas. That's why they say ideas are a dime a dozen. You have to implement the idea in order to see if it results in what the idea was. And if you do that, that's half the battle. So again, I'm going to throw this back. Scott, any other questions or comments on that?
That was helpful, because actually I was thinking of at first almost like a pop-up, and then when they did it, that would bring them to the free card, but that would miss out on an interaction that I could possibly have with them. So doing the card. And now when they fill out the campaign, where does that information populate? Does that create a note in their contact?
Yes.
So
2 things. You're going to, if you don't have an existing contact, it will create a new contact for you. Okay. And if you're on here thinking about Shuffle and you're maybe not aware of what Shuffle does, under the contact section, you've got a simplified CRM, right? Contact Relationship Manager is the acronym. And in that CRM, you have things that are notes, things that are info, contact details, things that are reminders. Those are sort of the basic 3. And under the contact details, Scott, you're going to see a tab called Additional Data. And it'll be all of their responses from your lead capture form right under that contact profile. And if you set up your campaign correctly, you're going to get an alert. I always tell people with campaigns, depending on how you're using it, you may not want to get an individual notification every time your campaign is opened. But if you put a form on your campaign, I implore you, set that to individual notification, because you want to get notified every time somebody submits that form, because they're leaning in. You've asked them to take a call to action. They've clicked on that button or they filled out that form and submitted that data. And then you want to take that next thing. Hey, whether it's an email outreach, a phone call, whatever it is, it becomes that other interaction. So glad you filled out the form. Here is your free account. Let's take the next step.
What a great idea for Tech Tuesday.
It is.
Yes.
It is. We'll let Kathy know. And as y'all see, Kathy's not on. I have her doing a presentation with a large group
dual
right
calls
now.
going on.
So she's taking care of that right now. I'm just because he always gets called out, and James isn't here to call you out. Mike, you're a master user, so I'm just letting you know I'm going to call you up here in just a second. But to continue on, so you have time. But to continue on with the form and those elements. Rose, you asked a question, could you use a Google form? Absolutely, you can. Take that link and put it on a button. Yep. That's the thing that happens here at Elify and with Shuffle. We are an information hub. We take other solutions where you can implement them and utilize them within the application. We're not all things to all people, right? Nor do we want to be. There's so much. Google makes forms better than we do. I guarantee they do. They've got a lot more backing behind it to get it done. But we give you a simple way to create a lead capture, a form that is more effective probably for the masses to understand how to create and do. So that's where what I had mentioned earlier from a disruption aspect, what Shuffle can do is it can disrupt the way people share that information. Because once I have a Google form, how am I going to share it? if I'm not utilizing something. So Mike, the question is gonna come to you, and it's also a question from Rose, because I know you do a lot of training, coaching. Her question is, what is your thoughts with social media? How would you advise someone regarding going in, showing your personal information, making a business page, how they could be utilizing Shuffle in social media to maybe attract customers, clients, affiliates, whatever that would be?
Well, first of all, I mean, that's the unique power about the digital business card and the old paper card. The paper card will not, the whole idea about the paper card is to build your audience. You must build an audience to engage with and then sell to. A lot of people try to not build, they just try to use the card to sell. And you can't do that. It does not work. And there's so many people out there get on social media. They think about, I did a presentation last night. I did a webinar on social media. Actually, how to use social media to build your audience. All I did most of the time was pointing here, because that's what I use to build an audience. That's all I'm trying to do is build that audience. Yeah. Right up under this is a survey. Just like Scott said, a survey is right there. And I take them right down the survey. And then I give them my card. They don't get my card until they take the survey. And that's how it works. Now, with social media, you're getting on social media and you're getting there. You find out, you have to determine who is your ideal avatar. Who is your ideal person to talk to? You don't get on there and talk to everybody, because talking to everybody is talking to nobody. Right, ER? He says it all the time. Talking to everybody's talking to nobody. You must know who your audience is, because once you define your audience, all you have to do is create content that engages that audience. That builds the know, like, and trust, and then all of a sudden you sell to them. It's like an ATM. You build that audience and they enjoy you, they resonate with you. You say boo, they say how high? And you put it in, cha-ching, money comes out. It sounds easy right there, but it's not that easy, but you do have to build it, okay? And it just takes time to build it. And it's all about time. Facebook, the social media platforms, they can speed that time up if you give them some of your money, right? I don't give them nothing. I've ran maybe 20 ads in all of my years just to prove a point. But most of the time I use organic reach to build, and with the digital business card, because it's so powerful, that's what it was all about. It was a way that now I can share my card online, which I couldn't do before, but now I can share my card online, and that it was trackable. Because I could share my website all day long. I could build my website or have it coded that it is trackable. But ladies and gentlemen, that's expensive. That is seriously expensive. The digital business card, as soon as I found out it from John Morrison, John called me up and said, hey man, you got to look at what these guys are doing. I said, okay. I looked at it and I said, that's the one. Because we had looked at some other cards. He said, he was telling me, and I said, well, no, that's the one. Look at the price point, $10. Man, you couldn't beat that. And this is back then, okay? This was back then. Things have changed since then, but that was the process that I went through. And I was like, yeah, this is it. Okay, the first thing it's going to give me is that ability. When I do a Zoom call, when I talk to somebody online, I can give them my business card. And then I can track it. I'm talking to somebody online. Hey, Miss Johnson, how are you doing? It was great to meet with you today. First thing I want to do here is give you my business card. Look down in the chat. You'll see a link there. You click on that, open that up. I want you to save my card to the home screen of your phone. Okay, you got my card now. Click at the bottom and save my information to the contacts. Now I got her. She's got my card forever, and I can move on with this Zoom call. That's all you got to do. You got to have a process and walk through that and do it.
I love that from the especially the platforms that people can get information out to others. If you're trying to get to everyone, you're going to get to no one. because you even look at it from the aspect of you go into Facebook and you look for work at home opportunities, and there's hundreds of thousands of people on there. And the first thing that they do is the newbie in any business is, here's my opportunity. Everyone join. That's my opportunity. And then you go look through and see how many likes or comments are on them. And I randomly just go look, and you can scroll for multiple pages and there's no likes, there's no comments, because they're not getting to anyone. You identify the market that you're going to, identify those individuals. A lot of times it starts with your warm market, and your warm market can then expose you to their warm market.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, thanks so much for that. Again, every Friday you drop a little bit of extra knowledge on us. I want to call out some things while Mike was talking. First of all, if you didn't hear Mike's story in that, you missed out, because he gave a great story. And it was his experience and everything he learned, and the results that it's creating for them, and even the results it can create for you. Secondarily, if you saw that QR code that Mike had right up there and scanned it, I hope you took an opportunity to scan it, because success leaves clues. You would have seen that, and I've got it right here. I scanned it, right? He's got a form that pops up. And again, Scott, to what we were talking about earlier, it's a quid pro quo, right? I'm not just going to give you my business card. I will give you my business card when you give me your information and your free digital marketing audit and coaching, right? So he's going to give something of value, some of his valuable time, to that person when they fill out the form, and they're going to get his information. So think about that and that exchange. And then, Guy, to what you were saying, do not go out there and just product vomit on people or opportunity. I mean, that's what we hear in the industry all the time, right? That's the old saying. Just don't go out there and do it, because it doesn't work. And yet that's what you see everybody new doing. Success leaves clues. You find a process, you start implementing it, but at the end of the day, it boils down to relationship. This is why we lead with a digital business card, because every relationship starts with introducing yourself to somebody. You know what I mean? And again, it's somebody specific, to Mike's point. If you have a specific target audience, we talked about total addressable market earlier on in today's conversation. You have an audience, somebody that relates to you or that you serve, and you can go out there and get in front of those people. And if you position it not as, here's my offering, do it, but as, I want to help you and show you and guide you, let us connect. Now you're starting relationship. And then if you start gathering those in, again, the process is I start filling up. That's like planting the seeds in the ground we talked about in the agricultural analogy, right? Then I start sort of watering those seeds and fertilizing those seeds and making sure to protect it, and it grows. And then, maybe there's another field that I'm planting a month later because the crop grows differently. And then another field that I'm planting a month later. So I've got harvests that are coming up because I'm continually following a process of pouring in, and drinking sort of at the same rate. And I think this is something powerful we can all learn from just by collaborating together. Who is your audience? Think about that. Write that down right now. Is your audience moms who stay at home? Is your audience tech people or people who want to get into technology? Is your audience small business or entrepreneurship? Is your audience the other direct sellers in the brand that you're currently representing? There's an audience for all of us to come in and help and support. And to Mike's point, when you do that, guess what? They give you a little bit of their money and it's cha-ching. They give you a little bit of their money and it's cha-ching. And the law of large numbers, it all starts to add up. I've said this on previous calls, and I know we're getting to the top of the hour here and we're going to wrap this up, but I had a mentor, and the mentor and I were talking about digital marketing and creating revenue online. And this was 20 years ago, guys, right? When I was first starting in affiliate marketing. And the mentor said to me, look, if you're looking to create that one website that creates $1 million for you, I am not the person to show you how. I've never done that in my life. He said, however, if you're looking to create small income streams across the board that will sum up to millions of dollars, that law of large numbers, I can show you how. He goes, I know how to create a website that can get you 100, 200, 500 bucks a month. He goes, and the problem is I've got 1,000 of those websites. Think about that. Just think about that. And here's the thing. Shuffle can empower you to promote or market anything. We want you to think about promoting and marketing Shuffle because that helps us take this to the world and accomplish our mission. But you can leverage Shuffle to market anything. So anybody out there promoting a product or a service or promoting themselves or their brand can leverage this technology. And it's up to all of us to help show them how. That's our role as affiliate marketers here at Elify. So Guy, I know we typically at the end go through the affiliate program. I know I typically share my screen and go through everything. Here it is in simple form. Our affiliate marketing program is second to none, in my opinion. It's the ultimate side hustle. Why? Because as an affiliate marketer, all you have to do is share out your links, get in front of people, show them how they can benefit from Shuffle. And when you share, and we're talking about those multiple touch points today, when you share and help, you get paid. It's as simple as that. When you share and help, you get paid. We heard it earlier on here, and I think Anna, you posted the comment on here. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's simple to do. The model is simple. The system is simple. It's not easy. It does take some work. But if you go out there and share, you can earn. If you show other people how to share, you can earn. And that's how simple it is. So guys, I hate that we only get an hour on Fridays together. I wish it was longer. Unfortunately, Guy and I have this 4-letter word called work to do as well. We want to get into activity and start getting things done, making forward progress. We hope you guys do the same with the rest of your day. As always, the challenge, will, skill, and refill over the weekend. If you've never done that before, start joining us and you're going to learn how to will, skill, and refill. We will see everybody. We do 4 calls a week, okay? 1 hour on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We encourage you to do Mindset of a Champion on Wednesday. Monday, sprint planning, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay, there's a bit.ly link for the week at a glance card, or I could put that link in there. Monday is sprint planning. If you don't have a plan, you need to have a plan. You need to put your plan down in writing. You need to execute your plan. It's as simple as that. If you need to learn how to do that, join us on Mondays. If you need encouragement every week to get it done for yourself, do it. Guy and I, we know how to do it, but we want to come on and help you do it for yourself so you can make forward progress. That's Monday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. On Tuesday, Tech Tuesday at 2 p.m., we'll be on with Master Trainer Kathy Inman. She knows everything about Shuffle. She wants to help you know everything about Shuffle. If you are struggling to implement any aspect of the technology, Shuffle, Tap, anything in between, we want to dig in on that. We want to work together so that you can learn the skills and empower yourself to do all of this stuff. Okay, Tech Tuesday at 2. On Thursday, I love to come on and do a big roundtable mastermind. Whatever topic you guys want to suggest or talk about, or I'm going to throw one out there, we can come on as a community and muse on that topic and support each other. Why? Because that's what communities do. You guys may be in this for yourself, but here's the reality. You're not in it by yourself. And that's the cool thing about the Elify community, this Elify Nation that we're creating, and that we want to invite you and others to join. So join us on the Thursday roundtable. That's 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Thursday. And then lastly, Friday with the Founders. You've been a part of it for the last hour. I want to thank you a little bit for that time because it's the favorite part of my week. It's when we get to come on together, talk to each other, see what's going on, share thoughts, and really talk about Elify and getting Elify out there. Because I know when we do, and when we accomplish our big goal and our big vision, it's going to be amazing. So I want to thank everybody for your time this Friday. Please have a wonderful weekend. We'll see everybody on the next call. Take care, everybody.